From the Grow Louisiana Coalition, I'm Jennifer Crockett, and this is Making Energy, a podcast where we discuss the most important issues facing Louisiana's economic engine and working coast. 2023 marks a new stage of the oil and natural gas industry, fueled by unprecedented American investments offshore and on land. It's an energy evolution.
Between now and 2030, there is a need of 1 million energy workers in the sector. That's why I was so happy that you guys called me to talk about the work I'm doing and to help us get the word out.
The promise? American-made, reliable, clean, and affordable energy built on a mix of existing and emerging technologies. Louisiana is the key. On this episode, we explore programs in Louisiana designed to help local residents train for and secure high-paying, stable industry careers for free or very little cost. These are jobs that will grow with future energy innovations and do not require a 4-year college degree. Imagine just 1 year from now receiving comprehensive health and retirement benefits while cashing a steady paycheck that starts about 30% higher than a retail job. Dr. Girard Melancon is our guest. He will teach us how Louisianians can take advantage of the wide open landscape of opportunities in the energy industry. Dr. Melancon brings over 25 years of progressive workforce development experience. He's president and founder of Durango Works, an independent consultancy firm, and director of the National Green Jobs Advisory Council at the National Council of Workforce Education. In addition, he recently completed his tenure at Baton Rouge Community College as the Vice Chancellor for Workforce Solutions. That launched the successful North Baton Rouge Industrial Training Initiative, a program that has introduced hundreds of Louisianians to careers in the industry. Dr. Melancon, welcome to Making Energy.
Thank you, Jennifer, and also thank you, Making Energy.
You've been quoted as saying you want to grow Louisiana's economy and also change people's lives. You have a story of someone that you've worked with that describes both the work you're doing today and why the energy industry is such a good fit to achieve both of those goals.
Yeah, so this the story, let me just go, his first name was Ben. We had a non-destructive testing program, and Ben called me and said, hey, I heard you got an NDT program, and I want to take it, but I just barely got my GED. And I said, listen, if you're willing to come here all the way from California and invest in yourself, come on down, you'll be a success. And Ben, actually, what he did, he was couch surfing. He had enough money, bought a $500 truck. He was cooking donuts at night, like early in the morning, and took this NDT class. And Ben went through it. And after his first year, Ben actually ended up working. Like within his first year, he made about $75,000, and then that following year, he doubled it. He got his AS&T levels and made $150,000, and he went from fighting fires to kind of barely making it, into now he's working, and we have so many students like that. But yeah, but he just had a GED.
From a GED to a $150,000 salary in 2 years. Wow. Well, Dr. Melancon, you also have a remarkable story. You live in Louisiana now, but you're from Illinois, and as a child, tragedy drove your determination to create change. So tell us about those formative years in Chicago and then your college years in Colorado, landing you ultimately back in Louisiana teaching workforce development.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. I really have a love for Louisiana. Obviously, I was not born here, but my roots are very much close to Louisiana. My dad was born, raised, and also resting here in Louisiana. I was born in southeast Chicago, but I've been here for 23 years. And my mom's from Tennessee. They moved to Kankakee probably in the late 50s. So it was booming. You had a lot of manufacturing going on in that region. Strong economy, had a great pay scale for teachers because of the strong economy. And I was born in 74, and then in 74, that was kind of decline of the industrial revolution in southeast Chicago. And through my experience, what I saw was pretty much opportunity and life of a city kind of move out, and I kind of was raised into an area where kind of hope and despair moved in, a lot of crime. And, out of that, I had some personal stories of, I had a friend that played, it was a great basketball player, but he played a lot of street basketball. One evening, he waiting to pick up a game, just a shot went off, hit him. He wasn't attended it was just a kind of stray bullet, hit him, killed him immediately, hit him in the heart. And then my parents, a lady I took care of, when my parents kind of rented a room from while they were in grad school, a mentally ill guy broke into her house and brutally murdered her. So it was kind of during my formative years. I thought I was going to go into the business route because I had a lot of hustle. But I moved to opportunity. FBI agent came to my school and talked about the careers of being an FBI agent. I was like, that's perfect. I was an adrenaline junkie. I get to lock up bad people. And when I went to Colorado, quickly learned that not everybody's bad. Some people live in bad circumstances. Kankakee became an economic hell for many cases. And some people just made bad decisions out of bad options. I saw that if they have career options, they can make better choices and not rely on crime or just and change the whole economic situation for them and their family. But it's sometimes tying their passion, their work ethic, and the opportunity in the right area. And that's basically what workforce development truly is.
For the last 2.5 decades, you found that exposure, education, and opportunity right in the energy industry. 23 years of that right here in Louisiana's energy industry. From your national role with the Council for Workforce Education and your local work with your own company in Baton Rouge Community College, how do you see the energy industry now preparing Louisiana's workforce for the future?
Oh, wow, the future is so bright, even currently. So the Department of Energy just sent out a report. Basically, between now and 2030, there is a need of 1 million energy workers in the sector. That's why I was so happy that you guys called me to talk about the work I'm doing and to help us get the word out and to get people into those fields. And it's not just one thing, it's many things, many opportunities that people can get involved from their passion and the need of the world in the energy sector. It's a huge net that people can get connected to.
One of the specifics we wanted to talk about was the North Baton Rouge Industrial Training Initiative, something that you have been a part of. It's supported by ExxonMobil and other industrial companies. What need did both ExxonMobil and education leaders see, and how did the two come together to address it?
Well, that's a beautiful story, and it's a story that's still evolving. But originally it started, there's two principles from it. Self-interest moves people, and power rests in relationships. Exxon had the self-interest of, they were in North Baton Rouge. North Baton Rouge, if people are not aware of, on paper, it looks like it's on the top of the bad list and bottom of a good list. But in reality, there are a lot of hardworking individuals in North Baton Rouge that just didn't know about the opportunities of working at ExxonMobil. And they pretty much thought it was, hey, those are jobs and careers for people that don't look like me or come from my background. Basically, what the plant manager at that time, back in 2012, said, hey, I see a lot of trucks coming in and out of these gates, but none of them are staying in North Baton Rouge. And I really want to fix that. And we started off program design of figuring out how we could bridge that disconnect.
And that plant manager, that was the plant manager for ExxonMobil at the time.
It was, yes. The staffing in between any plant is 60% of those workers are contracted workers through large service contractors. They do recruiting all over the Gulf South. They actually have, Texas companies and Louisiana-based companies, so they recruit all over. So it was a combination of the self-interest of the contractors supplying Exxon with local talent, but also Exxon playing a leadership role of saying, hey, this is what we want to do. We have some of the highest pay scales in the state, and we really like to see some of this wealth be generated to people who want to take advantage of this opportunity and change what wasn't working to make that happen.
So ExxonMobil had the idea. Baton Rouge Community College said, let's do it. Tell us about the challenge that was ahead of you initially and where you are with that program today.
There's so many new opportunities out there for everybody, even from the engineering, planning, and scheduling, but also the safety. A lot of people did not know about the switch of culture and safety. So we had to first educate that and then had to show them, hey, well, send us to people who are interested in it. And we start off a class of 30. They were successful, typically about an 85% to 90% job placement rate and success with the program. It takes time, just like a relationship. Relationships are reciprocal. If we just did it as a PR stunt and kind of and with no programming in place to make it successful, then or people are going to unsafe practices, then we will lost the relationship with the community. And we've we have evolved between the community and the contractors over the years to keep it top notch.
What is a typical education path, a timeline and a cost for a student in a program like this? And what kind of job and salary can they expect when they complete it?
So the North Baton Rouge Industrial Training Initiative, the timeline is very intentional. So we first start off with a community event. At that event, it's more of an experience about petrochemical and energy. It's still continuously informing people about all the new opportunities. For example, Exxon is producing stuff for the green energy. Resins to keep cars lighter, oil to be more efficient in bearings, to wheels can run smoother and longer. All that stuff is re-educating the community about the future of this work. So that's a phase. And then also we have contractors there to talk about all the different aspects of working in petrochemicals. We do testing, and the testing is not so much to exclude people, it's more to figure out where people are on the educational continuum. We want to make sure the program's able to bridge those gaps. And then also we do a background check. One thing we have found that worked well in welding is recruiting barbers. So, and that just happened just out of happenstance, because we were going to a barbershop, because that's where a lot of social capital for African-American males in particular go to, get their hair cut, check in what's happening on the street, just kind of get the scoop that week. And so we intentionally go to barbers to say, hey, this is a training opportunity, blah, blah, blah. They give us feedback. It's a target place to recruit. Barbers were coming into the program. And then once one barber became successful, we just said, hey, barber, your field, what you do on a daily basis is similar to welding. And you have good, if you like the hand-eye coordination of it, you have very good dexterity, and you're very smooth and stuff like that. Try welding. It wasn't like we did an analysis of what a barber does every day and what a welder does. It just, we were going there to recruit, and then the barber would say, hey, I can make that much money? And then some were like cutting hair on the side and welding full-time because it provided that type of lifestyle.
And let's talk about that, because that's one of the intentions of the programs. It's at night or on the weekends, so that you don't have to just jump in. You can still make a living while you're enrolled in this often free workforce education.
It is, yeah. So the program was designed to be an evening program. Now it's 3 nights a week. So you go work traditional jobs during the day, and then it's kind of transition into a new career at night.
So they're in the program for about a year, working a couple of nights and weekends on their education. Then they transition after about a year into a job. How much can they expect to make? And then what is that continuing education? How does that pay off? What's the return on that for maybe their second year of employment?
Yeah, so they typically will exit out between 22 to 25, depending on their craft, as their first year. In many cases, they easily went up to $30 an hour to $35 an hour, depending on their craft. And it could be more than that if they're doing like turnaround work, or if they're on a travel crew, they get a per diem. Most important, you have ownership of a skill that is portable, that your value travels with you no matter where you go, especially if you're in the Gulf South. We're in the petrochemical manufacturing sector of the world. The work is harder now. There is to say you still have to sacrifice some stuff. You may not be home for birthdays, and in some cases holidays. You may have to work nights, but the pay scale and the career opportunity is great for a lot of people.
Let's talk now about the importance of diversity in workforce development.
Currently in manufacturing energy, there's right now 70% of the workers are white males. So that means there's a lot of women, and there are a lot of people of color outside of these high growth, high demand fields. They're underemployed. And so if we diversify even our personal finances or our economy, if it's more diverse, it's more resilient. Economic opportunities are spread across the board. But at the end of the day, if we have a son or daughter or anybody who's not a white male, we want opportunity for them in this beautiful work of energy and petrochemicals. And that's why not just it's a right thing to do, but we all benefit when more people are able to be part of the American dream and able to achieve economic opportunity.
What opportunities are currently available, and what would you say is the best first step for someone who really wants to get started?
Don't wait, and let your curiosity go. Don't let your background prevent you from taking advantage of the opportunities here. 1 year, you could change your life in 1 year. Just figure out where your curiosity goes. Just start. Go talk to an instructor at the local community college. Go Google that company. Go talk to the HR and say, hey, how can I work here? And instructors are really good because they kind of see where people's strengths and weaknesses are. And really good programs are put in place. As long as you have a will and some work ethic, they will help you get above the bar. They can't lower the bar for you, but they will help you. If you're willing to do the work, they will give you the supports, the academic supports, so you to take the test and excel. But key thing, I tell people, don't be afraid. Just take that first step. Just go be inquisitive and go talk to somebody.
And that somebody could be someone in the local workforce development office, right?
It could be, yes. It's also there's workforce development offices all across the state and across the nation. They also provide funding. So there's the individual training accounts that can help pay for the training program you want to go into at pretty much your local community college or any training provider within the region. In many cases, they have job boards, so they can help you say, hey, somebody needs this field now with no skill, but they'll train you on the job. And then there's also other scholarship opportunities too, because you may see a cost for a program. And there's the Michael J. Foster program that's out there. So some of these programs are 2-year programs, so you could get the TOPS Tech program, or the Pell Grants will help cover. So don't let funding be a barrier for that. There's a lot going on here, and it's a good time to be in Louisiana.
Dr. Girard Melancon with Durango Works, I appreciate you being on Making Energy today. Your insights, your enthusiasm and encouragement is refreshing. We will include all of your contact information in the description for this episode for anyone who wants to connect. Thank you again for being our guest today.
You're welcome, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
Next time on Making Energy.
I want 1 million kids doing STEM in the hope that one day they'll be one of the 14 million millionaires in the world or one of the 2,758 billionaires in the world.
We travel from the classroom to the coast.
Shell, I can announce today, has made a $1 million contribution to Bayou Community Foundation.
Where energy is both a big idea and a small town neighbor. That's on the next Making Energy.